Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I have Vishesh, Nivedita and Ishan here with me. Ishan goes to University of Michigan, Nivedita goes to UTD and Vishesh goes to University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Guys, I told everybody your university. Why don't you guys introduce yourself starting from Ishan?
Hi everyone. I'm Ishan, and I'm doing my master's in specializing in embedded systems. I'm from the electrical engineering and computer science branch, and yeah, I've done my bachelor's in electronics and communication. I have a work experience of 2 years, and I thought this was a good time to quit because the market also is going down. So it's like we hope by the time we come out of graduation, things going to be better.
Yeah,
that's about me.
Yeah. Nivedita.
Hi, my name is Nivedita and I'm pursuing my Master's in Information Technology Management at Nivedita School of Management in UTD. So I graduated in 2019 from Mumbai University in Electronics and Telecom and then switched my field to data analytics for over a year. I did internships in startups and even I thought like it's better to get hands-on and like deep dive into the field of data science. So I joined my master's program here and it's been a month since I'm here now.
All right. Vishesh.
Yeah, hey everyone, this is Vijay Parth. Studying here at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. My major is information management and my concentration is information consulting. Unlike everyone else, I had a degree in computer science, but I decided to do an internship with digital marketing and for 6 months, and after that I did apply for a role of a project to the CEO, basically a personal assistant. So I got to see the business side of the technological world, and that got me interested into consulting. So after like 2019, I started digging up some videos from Parth and started looking up at the resources for the universities, and eventually got here. I believe like me and everyone here had an admit for fall 2020, and we all had to and it feels really good to be here. Like it was a crazy experience starting from giving the exam, like the GRE and TOEFL or maybe IELTS in someone else's cases, but it's been a journey. And even the hardest part for this term was getting a visa slot, because not a lot of slots were releasing, so it was crazy. But it
Don't tell me.
I've heard a lot of stories about the visa nightmares this time, but at least you guys made it. So, Vishesh, sorry, remind me again what degree you're doing?
Information management.
Okay, perfect.
It's basically another term for MIS here, I believe.
Okay. And I believe, except for Nivedita, both of you guys are drenched in snow at both of your campuses right now, right?
Yes.
Nivedita and I are the lucky ones right now who are enjoying the weather. I know Dallas is still hot, but it's not as cold as compared to these guys. But Vishesh, tell me your first month. How was your experience? Is it your first time coming to the US? How was your experience coming into whatever airport you came into, and tell us about that experience.
So I start from the very beginning. So I got my visa pretty late, and we had this WhatsApp group where people were talking that they're gonna leave on this particular day. So everyone booked a flight from Air India except me and my roommate. We got a visas pretty late, so we booked a flight from United. So we were only allowed to have one baggage, unlike others. They were allowed to have. So we had to fit in pretty much everything in one bag. Mm-hmm. So fortunately, every single one of the students from our cohort landed at O'Hare International Airport, and we took a bus. It was a 2-hour long journey. Most of us slept. And the day we came here, like it felt like we were in a movie or something, because nobody was out. Like it was like 12:30 or 1 p.m. at that time, and I was in a state of shock that why aren't people like out? Why aren't people like going out for like maybe grabbing a cup of coffee. Obviously, it's the time like when not a lot of people are going out, but still it was shocking to not see a lot of people walking around and just hanging out. But eventually things improved. Since the classes were going to start from 25th, I started seeing a lot more people on campus. I started seeing long lines in front of the pubs. 2 or 3 days ago, I went out to get my groceries. I saw freshmen without masks roaming around in the streets, and that was it. And I'm meeting a lot of people lately, virtually. I have met almost all of my classmates, and it feels good. Initially, it was a little gloomy, because there was no sun, but I'm getting the hang of it. And that's my story. And the most important thing, I saw the snow for the very first time. I had the stigma that there's something like that, but it's very different. I love snow. I just go around my backyard and play and make snowmen, and that's how I spend my days.
Okay, perfect. Nivedita, how about you?
So starting from the beginning, that I had very mixed feelings because I never lived outside my home. For bachelor's also, I was in Mumbai. So I had mixed feelings, and flying out on the first, it was very different because we are going to start a new life on the first day of the new year. So that was very mixed for me. So I booked a flight through Air India. I had a 15-hour long flight from Mumbai to Newark, and then I had a longest layover possible. I had 12 hours of layover at Newark. So
oh my god, I feel sorry for you already.
So, and there were no people. So I was just we were 6 people who were flying to Dallas. So we knew each other, and we were just sitting there looking at nothing. And we tried to roam around, but the shops were closed because of COVID, or maybe it was the first day. So nothing was open. So we tried not to sleep because we would get jet lag, because we had our flight at 7 in the evening. Then we landed here at DFW airport around 12, because 11, and it took time for the bags and everything. So I have seen the weather change so many times that I have lost a count of it, that what weather was it when I landed. So it has snowed here, it has hailstone, and then it has been sunny. So to get the hang of all the weather changes, it's been pretty difficult. And to not see people around on street, it's very different for me being from Mumbai, because I'm used to a lot of people around me. And the university is in Richardson, so it's not also proper downtown Dallas. So there are not a lot of people. But then eventually, like Vijay said, that after the classes are reopening and everything, so I have 2 classes on campus, so I get to meet people, and it really feels good to connect with them. So this hasn't been it. Yeah.
What about you, Isha? I have some comments with both of your conversation. I'll circle back to that once Ishan tell us his story.
So I was also a part of these visa WhatsApp groups, but I wasn't really the one who was active on those. With I was on job role till 31st of December. I quit my job on 31st of December, and I caught my flight on 31st night. Okay.
What? That is extreme.
Yes. Right. So in fact, when I got my visa interview slot, I was in Bhopal. I was not in Goa, where I hail from. So I was on a customer site. I was in the middle of the road on one Chauraha, and I was doing some commissioning, and the men were doing the job, and I just had some free time, so I thought I'll just check out if the visa slots are open, and I got a visa slot. I was lucky. And the very next day, I flew to Mumbai for a visa interview.
Yes.
So so my visa story was that way. And so as I said, I quit my job on 31st, and who flies out of Goa on 31st December?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how I was addressed when I was leaving. So, but as I said, I wanted to experience 3 New Years in a day, so I took that decision. I wouldn't be surprised if I and Nivedita were traveling in the same flight, because even I traveled on the 1st of Jan, Air India from
maybe. Maybe.
So
Maybe, it's a lot of students. Like when you're traveling in fall and spring, it's just you see bunch of faces confused, and everybody knows that this person is also going for the first time. It's pretty interesting.
In fact, so I had a flight from Mumbai to Newark, Air India, and it was that Vande Bharat flight. And probably the first time my legs fit in an aircraft. Otherwise, no aircraft in India fit my legs. So it was a very comfortable flight because the middle row was empty. So I could just stretch myself. A 17-hour flight was nice. And I have my cousin in New York. So when I had my connecting flight from Newark, I had to go to LaGuardia. So I had a change of airports. So my cousin stays in New York. So he picked me up from Newark. He took me around New York. And then he took me to LaGuardia and he dropped me. So I had a fun trip.
Yeah, that's like definitely that's something you wouldn't. I think first day if you end up in New York, that's a big deal. Like that's what I figured. As soon as you land there, you have watched all these movies and everything, and whenever somebody's talking about US, they show like downtown of New York or LA or Hollywood. Like if you end up at that place, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, how you start your US journey from New York? It can't start better, right?
Yeah.
And then then I had my next flight from LaGuardia. I landed in Michigan. Michigan was very beautiful from the top. Okay, likewise New York, but they're just two different landscapes. New York was more of buildings and skyscrapers. Michigan is like a small town. It's a village. It's snow everywhere. It's beauty at a different level. All right, and from the top, I had the first 2 days. I was just in love with this place. But then you know how snow is, right? It's like that new toy you give to a kid. For the first 4-5 days, he plays with it, he enjoys the snow, and then you realize, okay, this is getting too mainstream now. So that's how snow has been, but it's very cold here.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's a nice place. It's a quiet place. Very less people. If we come from India, as Nivedita said, we are so used to having 10 people surrounding us at any time. And this place is like, itni jagah hai, lekin log nahi hai yaar. So it's that sort of a feeling.
Yeah, I felt that way as well. Until unless you go into downtown, you wouldn't see people, and in some cases, downtown are also very empty. But I also had one question for you guys. Like, did you feel like the airports in India and airports here are so different? It's like the airports here are more like a railway station or just another transit center. Like airports in India are like a luxury that you go there and the
big deal,
cafes and restaurants. Yeah, it's a big deal. Duty-free shops everywhere. Here it's just a commodity that everybody would end up there, just fly out like a bus station.
Yeah.
True. And so is all of your classes offline right now or online or mixed? What's going on? Let's start from Ishan.
So my labs are in person. In fact, I had a lab today, and all my lectures are online. Only my labs are in person.
So is your university planning to open up in-person lectures, or is it going to go through for the whole semester?
Not this semester. In fact, it is sad, but the new strain has been spotted somewhere in the county, and
right.
We have to get tested. We have to get ourselves tested every week in case we want to attend like classes in campus.
But anyways, you're attending the labs, right? So you would get tested regardless, right? And your insurance covers tests, right?
Yes, it's free. Insurance covers tests. So
Nivedita, how about you?
Actually, we had an option. So I took two of my classes on campus and 2 of them are online. So we get to go to lectures on campus twice a week. So it feels good. Actually, I'm just back from a lecture 30 minutes ago.
That's awesome. Awesome. What about you, Vishesh?
So most of our classes are online, but only one lecture every week we have in person. But most of the classes are online. But the labs are in person, so we get to go to the labs, and everyone can go to the library and the study areas. Speaking about the study areas, it's beautiful. You can just go sit there for hours on end, and you won't feel, you won't feel bored. You just never get used to that kind of surrounding, and it's very quiet. Like we have this undergraduate library at University of Illinois. It's underground, and obviously it's very quiet. But when you even go underground, like it's super nice. Like I just went there like 2-3 days ago, and I was sitting there for like 8 hours. Like I never studied that much, but I was sitting there for 8 hours. Like super nice.
Right. How about let's talk about the campus when Vishesh has already touched upon that. How is Nivedita? Why don't you talk about campus like right now? How do you feel coming from Mumbai, and coming to UTD, which is so spread out, huge campus, beautiful landscapes? How does that feel like?
So the campuses that I was used to in Mumbai, they were pretty small. Like there's always a shortage of space. And from coming here, it feels like there's a lot of space. And I mean, it could be in how many acres, I can't even imagine. But those classrooms are so huge. We are having our lectures in auditoriums because of COVID. So they want to spread us out. And the auditoriums are huge. Like there are 4-5 screens so that we can view what the professor is teaching us. And there are different buildings for different branches, and it feels very nice to be here because the resources are plenty. Like we could actually benefit ourselves so much if we utilize every resource that our university is providing us with, the libraries, the offices and everything. It's very good. It's just that because of COVID,
I was saying Vishesh has already gotten half out of it, so studying 8 hours a day.
But our library is closed. Only our classrooms are open.
Okay. And are you also supposed to take? I forgot to ask you both that. Are you also guys supposed to take a COVID test every week or every 2 weeks?
No.
Vishesh, do you have?
So we are supposed to take test every 3 days. We have an app called Safer Illinois. It will automatically revoke your status if you don't get tested every 3 days. You can't enter a building. You can't even attend online classes if your status is orange. So it's pretty neat how they're doing it. And there are a lot of testing centers. One is next to my place, but that's the only place I go. So it's 10-15 steps away.
It'll be weird for people who are coming, let's say somebody watches this 1 year down the line. It'll be weird for him or her to hear this. Hopefully by that time COVID is gone. Ishan, what about you, man? Your campus is covered in snow. How do you feel about how beautiful the campus is?
My campus doesn't have a boundary, I think, of how much time I've spent in this place. I've not seen the outer boundary of my campus. It's that huge. So I've come from NIT Goa, which is a very small, it's like very, very small campus, and this place has no compound wall, man. It's such a huge place.
Right.
I feel the city is inside the campus rather than the campus being in the city.
Right.
So it's that huge. And I heard things are open for students, so even the libraries are open. We can go to the library, all resources are open. But like Vishesh, it's the same here. We need to keep our app updated. There's an app called Responsiblue, and they also update the status. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like the way they handle stuff here is pretty neat.
That's pretty good, because it's funny. I was talking to someone before, maybe Roundtable 1 or 2, either one of those, and they also told me the same thing, that hey, we have an app. It varies state to state. So in Arizona, we don't have anything like this.
Same.
And people, exactly like Dallas, people wear masks, but some people have stopped wearing masks. But of course, we take the best precaution I can take. I don't want to be contaminating somebody else, and that's what I would recommend you guys as well. Just stay safe. Don't want to risk anything. Another question: how's your roommate situation? Did you guys find them before, or did you meet them after coming? How did you guys find the apartments? Let's start with Ishan. Let's start with Vishesh this time.
So I wasn't actually looking for a roommate, but so we have these WhatsApp groups for students who got an admit from the university. So everyone got a roommate before me, obviously, because I got my visa pretty late, so I couldn't fill out the the forms basically, which everyone was just sharing across. So like 2-3 weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks before the flight, one of the guy reached out to me. He told me if I'm looking for a roommate, and I was like, yeah, why not? Like, I don't like living alone. Like, I'm from a joint family, so I can't live alone. So I was like, okay, let's do this. And then he told me he is from the same state where I am from, and so basically we have the same food habits. We eat poha, make jalebis and samosas and everything. So the food taste was similar. So I was like, okay, let's do this. And yeah, he became my roommate. And speaking of finding an apartment, so we were looking for apartments on like Zillow and some random Facebook groups. So apartment situation and the apartment rates are like very cheap here in Illinois. So my roommate got like initially when he was searching for the housing, he got an offer of like $410. But I subleased an apartment from another guy, and he gave us like a 3-bedroom house for like $335 per head. So yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And it was a furnished apartment, and like he gave us a lot of stuff for free. So yeah, it was nice. So that's how like I came across the apartment where I'm living in.
Perfect. How about you, Nivedita?
So there's the ISA community of UTD is pretty active. So they made a like Google form where we had to fill in our preferences, our state, our bachelor's and everything, and our master's too. So we could just like refine our search and contact persons directly whom we wanted to like see as the prospective roommates. So I found my roommates from there, and they're very nice. And we hail from the same state. We are all from Maharashtra, so all our food tastes are similar and everything. And we met even once before coming here. So like we knew each other pretty well before coming here. And so while we were looking for the apartments, we found out that there was something called as the COVID rates that were going on here. So the apartments here are, so they were cheaper. So the apartment we currently rent, there are some fixed communities where students from UTD live. So this one is in that community, but usually the rate here for a 2B2B is 1,700 or 1,800. And during that time when we booked our apartment, we booked in November. So we got it for 1,400. So we paid $350 each. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And it's pretty closer to the university too. And we have a shuttle here of the university which like drops us for free. So from by the shuttle to university, it's only 5 to 10 minutes.
That's
so got a pretty good deal. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's not bad. How about you, Sean?
So my roommate and me, we both were classmates in our 11th and 12th standard.
Oh, no way, man. That's great.
So I'm meeting an old friend back. But yeah, the only difference, I had to sublease an apartment. I had to sublease the apartment from one of his roommates who was moving out. So I couldn't get the COVID rate. I'm paying $500 for my room. So because
wait until somebody from New York watches this, and then they're like, oh, we are already paying $1,000 for sharing a room. I think, you know,
per head.
So my roommate right now, he was in San Jose State, and they used to pay like for a 3-bedroom $2,400, and since they had to save money, so that there were like 2 people living in the same room, or some people stay in the living room in the hall as well. So it is tough, and it's great that's why one thing I really like about, you know, Midwest universities and even Texas in this case is that it's cheaper living. So you wouldn't have that many problems. And Dallas is a big area. I'm sure the apartments which Nivedita is living in, it's much bigger than what Vishesh is living in, just because
it's pretty big.
Expanded. Yeah, Dallas is pretty big. I've heard a lot of good things about spaced out stuff. How's your grocery store experience? I'd love to ask this question because I was so amused by going into the supermarket and just seeing all the shelves with like 15 types of cheese and 6 type of milk. Let's start with Ishan this time.
I was waiting for this question. So groceries for me are free here. Apparently, the university has a store. It's called Maize and Blue, and you just go there. You show your ID card and pick whatever you want, and you come home. So you get almost everything that you need for an everyday meal, except if you need something really luxurious.
Are you sure, man? They're not charging you? Like you end up with a big bill at the end of the semester.
No. My ID card is all I need.
Okay.
So you get everyday stuff. You get eggs, you get milk, you get rice. So you can live with it.
Right. I can already I can already see a lot of people messaging you that, hey, how do you get free groceries? All right, Nivedita, how about you?
So even we have this same kind of free food stuff here. We have Comet Cupboard, but it is like we get 8 items per person. And there's a list through which we can get it. And we get milk, bread, veggies, canned items, everything from that. But we have to go make a grocery run every once in a while to Walmart. But it takes like 3 hours when we enter a Walmart because there are a lot of options and we have to search around for things. So it's good though.
This is a trick I follow, like I'm still a very cheap guy. So what I do is like there is a per ounce price or like a single unit price, and you just have to check whichever one is the cheaper. So let's say a pasta packet is $2 or $3. The per ounce price would be like 0.1 or 0.3. So I would check like whichever is the cheapest, because sometimes the packing looks big, but it's not big. It's still like you are getting charged more. So you want to see the per ounce or the single unit price. That's how you compare like whatever the cheapest is.
Yeah, but apart from, I guess Walmart is the cheapest through out of every other store here. And for Indian groceries, we have Patel Brothers here. So
yeah, I've seen that Patel Brothers. What about you, Vishesh?
So for me, no free meals. My university will not provide that. But luckily, one of the roommates already has a Costco membership, so we buy a lot of things in bulk from there. For Indian spices, there are 2 options. One is the Bombay market, and another is Annapurna store. So basically, everything which you can imagine in an Indian store, like back home, they have it there. But the prices are like sky high. Like they'll charge like $17-18 for a packet of masala. So that was a bummer. But for the regular items like potatoes, tomatoes, and like onions, we get it from Meyer. Like it's very cheap there, and we are in a campus town, so there's a Target nearby. So every once in a while, we just go there and pick up milk and bread and maybe some candies. That's it. So grocery shop.
Right. Myers is definitely cheaper than Target. Like I've felt like Target is more expensive. It's between Whole Foods and Walmart. Whole Foods being on the top, Walmart being the cheapest, and Target's right in the middle. But Meyer is like, I think they're trying to compete with the Walmart kind of prices. But that's good. Like how's academia going? Let's talk about studies for a while. How do you feel the professors, how the professors are, how the coursework is? How do you feel about that? I'm sure your classes have been going on for now at least 2 to 3 weeks. Let's start with Vishesh.
Yeah, so I was a little intimidated before the classes were going to start because I thought I might have to study a lot and it might get boring. Since I hail from an engineering background and I studied a lot of theoretical subjects, so I was in a state of shock when the professors were like really chill and they were teaching in a pragmatic manner, and they gave us case studies to they just gave us case study initially of in one class called information consulting, and everyone was discussing about it, and then the professor taught us how to write a scoping document. In another class, we were taught about social technical information system. It was a very interesting class. So it was of 3 hours, and I don't know how 3 hours passed. Like I was just making notes, interacting with the professor, and everyone was answering. Even though the classes are on Zoom, it feels really nice that I'm able to interact with the professor and everyone else. Talking about the other things, so we are supposed to finish a few readings before every class, and so that's the only time you have to put in some work. Apart from that, if someone wants to finish up the optional readings, or maybe like study the slides in advance, they can do that. And so yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to academia. But students can also interact with the PhD students and participate in the study, and if they are feeling more enthusiastic, they can join a consulting group, or maybe other student group which are involved in let's say teaching other undergrad students, or maybe maybe they are helping others to learn a new skill, so that you can polish up your skills which you already have. So yeah, so studying is really nice. It's not like engineering back in India. You don't have to mug up things. You just come to the class, show up, study, finish your assignments on time, submit it, and that's the end of it. And the good thing is I'm really learning a lot. I feel I'm in nursery class and I'm learning ABCD all over again, and it really feels nice. This is the first time I've felt I'm really starting after the 10th grade. When we were, I guess in 10th grade, we all learned about geometrical concepts and 3D and vectors kind of thing. So it feels like that. And but this time around, I don't feel tired, and instead of being annoyed and angry all the time, I feel happy, and I really look forward to the next class. So that's my experience for now.
Okay, let's move to Nivedita.
Classes are going good. Actually, I have 4 classes, and there's one credit we have to take for professional development as my degree comes under the management school. So that class is pretty interesting. Our professors teach us how to build a LinkedIn profile, how to interact, and there are virtual fairs happening now and then. So they teach us how to interact with recruiters there and build our overall profile basically. And the other courses that I have are purely technical. So there are coding assignments, and we have apart from the assignments and the coursework they're teaching in the classes, I think there's a lot of self-study involved too, because we have to stay at par with everyone here, and the more we practice, the more we are going to get good at coding and everything. Because since I hail from an electronics background, I guess I have to put in some extra efforts for that, but I'm really enjoying it because I personally like learning new things, and the way they teach here, it's very different from what they do in India, because we have 3-hour long lecture and they cover theory and practicals both in the same class. So whatever we are learning in theory, we are basically implementing it in the same class. So the concepts are very clear in our heads by the time we end our lecture. So I find it pretty interesting here.
That's pretty good. That's awesome. How about you, Ishan?
So it's surprising how the professors here relate to whatever they teach with the industry. Something that doesn't happen in India.
I don't want to cut you off, but it's they're so relaxed, isn't it? It doesn't feel like they're professors. It feels like you're maybe talking to a co-worker of yours, and the barrier between just asking a question, there's no barrier between you and him. You can just ask a question, unmute yourself, and they'll be really happy that you asked a question. Sorry, continue.
Even if you miss, they're very friendly people. Even if they schedule a meeting and say they come late, then they'll apologize. They've done some really big thing. So that's the kind of relationship they have. But yeah, the thing here is there is immense workload. Definitely, there's a lot of back-end stuff which has to be done. In fact, if you talk about workload, it's very high here. So, and I'm amongst some students who are extremely talented. There are people from China, Korea, Vietnam, they're really smart. You've got to really put in an extra mile from yourself if you have to stay there. And for some reason, like it's that way, right? If you need to get that GSI position next year or maybe a research assistantship, then you need to be up there. You can't be amongst the average. So workload wise, it's a little heavy. It's very heavy. In fact, I have taken a very loaded first semester. So I'm doing 50% of my classes now of my ultimate degree. So I'm doing 14 out of my 30 credits in my first semester. It's because of the weather. I need to keep myself busy in this weather.
Right. No, that's good.
So it's a little heavy, but it's interesting. It's a problem statement that you solve in every course, so it's nice.
Yeah, how's the demographic? Let's start with you. Like, how many is majority of the students Indian, or what other countries people come from in your class?
So it's difficult to guess from Zoom when you read their names, but I could guess that there are very few Indians here. I think about, say, my class of around 100, maybe around 10 to 12 Indians. And there are from a face, I guess, yes, very low. And there are a lot of them from China and Korea. China, Korea are a major chunk. Americans are also there, and there are a lot of Vietnam, Mexico, South America. So it's a mix. It's a big mix. But yeah, majorly they're all Chinese and from Southeast Asian countries.
Right. How about you, Nivedita?
For me, there are 80 to 90% Indians here in our classes, but I have some courses which belong to the operations management department. So there are people from different backgrounds there. There are hardly any Indians on that class, and mostly there are American people who are working professionals because of the statistics class that is a prerequisite for many of the degrees here. So there are many working professionals, Americans, Chinese people there, but it's a virtual class, so we don't get to interact much, and there's always that barrier of virtual class happening, right? So
you can just walk up to someone and talk to them, right? That's definitely weird.
Yeah.
How about you?
So in my class, most of the students are Indians, but we do have some Chinese students, some Vietnamese students, as well as some Americans. But if you look at the university as a whole, there are only 2,000 Indian students, graduate and undergraduate, out of 50,000 students. So you can definitely see some friendly faces every now and then, but more than often you'll just see Americans and Chinese students a lot, because my university is pretty well known for its financial engineering and industrial engineering and computer science programs. So a lot of Asians are there, and most of the Indians are in the financial engineering, computer science, mechanical engineering, and mostly in engineering courses. Not a lot of Indians at the art school or other school. So it's nice to see a mix of people in the class, because obviously we need global exposure, so you can't really interact amongst Indians. So it's really nice here.
Okay, perfect. That's all the questions I had for you. Any hardship or any racism you faced within these 4 weeks? Anything odd you saw? Any weird stuff you saw? Let's start with Vishesh. I don't know if you saw something weird or had somebody made a racist comment on you.
No, luckily, I haven't faced anything like that here. In fact, people are very helpful. The day I got here, I have an old phone, so the battery died out, and I was trying to navigate from my apartment to a bank, because I had an apartment. So I met a lady halfway. She was super nice, and she helped me that you need to go in this direction. Another incident which happened with me was, I believe, at the bank. I couldn't bring my passport, so I thought they'll be the SBI people that you need to go home and
right.
The people at the bank, the person which I met at the bank, he was super nice. He was like, okay, just show me the virtual identity, or maybe anything which you have in photographic form, and we'll consider it. So yeah, that happened, and like it was nice. Like people are really nice here.
Yep. Nivedita, what did you? Anything weird, anything funny, anything nice happened to you?
Actually, once I went with my roommates to downtown, so I found it very shady, and there were a lot of homeless people there. So we got very scared, and one person just came and sat now next to my roommate and said things to her. So yeah, that day it was pretty scary for us. Yeah, but other than that one incident, I feel people here are super friendly. Like there were people who work with the university. They donated a lot of furniture for us because we did not have tables and chairs. So we just asked if they were willing to do it, and they just dropped the whole of the furniture at our home and help us set it up. So apart from that one incident, I feel that people here are really friendly.
Okay, that's great. Ishan, anything?
Well, Vishesh, I have a soft corner for SBI. My mother works there. So SBI is a good bank for me.
That was bad.
It's always been a good bank. Anyway, so I had a couple of nice experiences here. People are very helpful. In fact, the furniture which I have here was home delivered to me by an unknown person here in America, somewhere around 30 miles from here. And I just got him on Facebook Marketplace, and she delivered it to my home. So people are very friendly. Apart from that, no, I've had all good experiences in Nagpur. It's a very nice place. It's just the weather's a little gloomy, but I need to keep myself busy during this time. I'm waiting for a nice fall in Michigan.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Alright guys, that's all the questions I had. I don't know, Nivedita, I forgot to ask you, did you meet Rob yet from Chai and Coaching?
No, I did not meet him, but then he does all the events that I attend on LinkedIn and everything. Yeah, but I hope to meet him someday.
Yeah. You'll find him definitely at UTD campus. Maybe it's just too cold for him to get out right now. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for doing this. This is all I had for you. I really appreciate you doing this. I'm sure it'll be helpful. If you're okay with it, can I put your LinkedIn profiles in the description?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
That's fine?
No problem.
Sure.
Right, perfect.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and we'll see you in the next roundtable.